Hello and welcome to Channel Sports on Sunday. I am Ken Ochonogo. It is that time of the year where we say, okay, we'll finish with the Olympics. What next and what next? It's the Paralympics, and that is where we are really strong. We'll be showing our might. We're showing how strong we are. We're showing how resilient our athletes are when it comes to this level. It's not a question of where whether we're going to win a medal or not. It has to be with what color of medal that Nigeria is going to win. We've been winning gold, we've been shattering world records. So as we go, as we return to Tokyo for the part 2 of the 2020 Olympics, that is the Paralympics era, we know that we are going with hope, we're going with smiles, we're going with expectations and believing that yes, we'll come back with a sack or sacks filled with gold, silver, and bronze, all medals in whichever color. That we are very sure of, because sometimes you put your hope somewhere, and then when it comes, it is where you think you didn't sow enough. That is where you have to you reap your bounty harvest from. So the Paralympics has been an area where we've been harvesting and this year, starting tomorrow, I will not be any different. It's a matter of how many, not whether we are going to win a 1 or 2 or 3. We hope to be with them. We hope to follow the stories. We hope to bring you, their performances here while they are there. And we hope that, yes, how many million Nigerians? We are 200 million or so, that we are cheering them up, psychologically, and also give them that muscle, make it comfortable for them to go there and achieve. But it has been a very busy week in sports. Athletics, boxing, tennis, football. Football is back. So like we said last week, it is time that the fathers tell the mothers, please let me, I loaned you the remote for some months. Let me take it back for those who want to watch the soap. The football is not 24 hours. Within that period, just make sure that there is peace at home. Try to, watch those football matches with the man of the house. There are even ladies who prefer football while their husband said, no, I follow music. But then it has to be that understanding. That is what happens. Share the remote as you share everything in your lives. Some good news have been coming out from Kenya. Kenya has been hosting the World Athletics Under-20 Championship for some while now, and this edition they are also there. The youths of the world Under-20 congregate in Kenya and then trying to do what others are doing. They say today we are doing here. We capture at Under-20 what is going to happen in the next 3 years when we go to Paris, because this is just a prelude to what is going to happen over there. So we sent our athletes there, we sent our kids there, and they are not doing badly, I tell you. We'll look at that, because that will be our, where we are going to start from. But also yesterday, the Diamond League is back after Tokyo, and yes. All those who performed in Moscow, almost all of them replicated their effort. Records were falling, world leading times, better than the times they did, even right there at the Olympics. So a lot of highlights, a lot of cheering news. So I tell you, it's going to be this year's Diamond League is going to be very much exciting because you can't take that away from those who have said yes. It is time for us to reap. They reaped gold. In Tokyo, they want to reap diamond right there on the tracks and on the field where they do their javelin and the throw and the jump. So it's all that. But before we look at other things, we're going to look at football. The transfer season is on. Whether you like it, it is on. Today there will be something happening in London. The derby is happening in London today. I don't think the Gunners want to go back-to-back L in the beginning of the season. So they are taking on Chelsea. Of course, they have Chelsea number, but Chelsea said Lukaku is back. He's our Drogba now. Let us see if he wants to do what Drogba has been doing to Arsenal. But today I will tell you who I'm backing or who I believe will take this or what it is a fraud. Unlike me, but today I'm coming out full blast to tell you this is where I think it is going to go, and don't be surprised when I make my choice. So look at that. There's also reward for the we looked at Bayelsa last week, and this week a lot of good news coming in. The governor is rewarding them, and then those rewards are there. But I want to see if we can go to Washington. If we're ready, let us start with athletics. Let us start with what we started at Ilorin, our own youth championship that we're doing at Ilorin, for some time now, whether it is yielding fruit or not. So, as usual, we have him. You wake him up to a.m. and he says, I'm ready to talk athletics. I'm ready to give what is happening. And we have Bambo right there from Washington, D.C., Indianapolis, America. Hello, Bambo. How are you?
I'm very good, Ken. Thanks for having me as always.
Yes, I know. I will keep on knocking. I'll keep on, getting you here. Where do we start from? Do we start from? Do we go to Eugene, or do we start from home? Where do we start from, Bambo?
Oh, we must start from home. We must start from Kenya, the World Championship. We must start there because Nigeria, we're already having our best World Under-20 Championship in history. Since the competition began in 1986, Nigeria has never won more than 2 golds in a single championship. We've already won 3 golds in this championship, and there's still opportunity for 1 or 2 more golds today, which is the final day of the championship. So it's really heralding a renaissance, I think, for Nigeria in athletics at the junior level.
At the junior level, like you said, I know if you go back in years to the time the Fatima Yusuf and co did rule the waves, and then they projected out. How does how is this telling? 3 gold medals already in the kitty. You said a renaissance. We know we are trying to say, okay, we are coming back, a resurgence. Is this showing that probably between now and 2024, when we go to Paris, that we're looking about converting all these our bronze and silver to gold? Are we seeing it that way, or we just discover these kids? We probably send them to American universities, and then we stop there. What has the transition been like from Ilorin to Kenya?
Well, I think a lot has happened over the last 3, 4, 5 years to develop athletes in Nigeria and also abroad. You mentioned the collegiate system. A lot of our athletes have gone out there to continue their education and athletics. And we're in a new phase now where we can start looking forward to the Paris Olympics in 3 years' time and really expect something good. Hopefully, with all the admin issues sorted out, and with the new AFN coming in, I think we're already seeing signs that we're in a new dispensation. What's happening in Kenya is really special. You saw Nse Maobong win the 400-meter junior title, the first Nigerian to do that in 13 years. In fact, the first individual title at the World Under-20 for Nigeria in 13 years. And Udodi Onwuzurike quickly followed that up in the men's 200. And what a special talent that boy is. 18 years old, born and bred in the US. He's ready, his first event for Nigeria, and he's the world junior champion in the 200 meters. The first world junior champion for Nigeria in 25 years in 200 meters since Francis Obikwelu. And then, of course, we had the mixed relay on the first day. The first mixed relay ever to be contested at the World Juniors, and Nigeria took the gold. So, like I mentioned, there's 1 day left, that's today. Nigeria is contesting in 6 of the finals, including the remaining 4 relays. We can't expect to see 2, 3 or more medals today. Particularly, we can still get 1 or 2 more golds. I'm looking at the women's 4x4 with the likes of Nse Maobong and Favour Ofili, who won an incredible bronze in the women's 200. That looks like almost a definite gold medal for Nigeria as well today.
Okay, individually, I want to also look at it. You talked about Nse Maobong coming from 4 years back. How she has developed, and can you give us an insight in this, who this young lady is and what we should be expecting? Not just us, what the world should be expecting of her.
Well, you know, the first time we ever saw Nse Malbon was at the Akwa Ibom Youth Sports Festival in 2017. She was running barefoot. She came second. I remember making our champions. We were there to cover the event. Yes, that's the image, and it's really special that you know, her coach over there in Akwa Ibom, Coach Dan, and her support system there has been able to carry her from that moment to becoming the world junior champion. Of course, she was the National Sports Festival champion in 2018. She defended that title this year as well. And we just saw the news that she has been accepted into Baylor University in the US.
Wow.
On a scholarship. So it's such a special story, and we should expect to see this girl at the pro level eventually for the next 10 to 15 years once she's done with college. It must be said her winning time, 51.55, almost qualifies her for the World Championships next year, but I suspect that that will come in short order as well.
Yeah, I think such stories, you know, what do I say? Do I talk about sweet music to my ears? Akwa Ibom Youth Sport Festival, Akwa Ibom Youth with emphasis on youth, Enugu Youth Sport Festival, Sokoto Youth Sport Festival, and that is what we are saying. If we have 36, 37 plus Abuja Youth Festivals every year, Bambo, what do you think the ripple effect will be like? And then give us also, let Nigerians know who Udodi is. He said he was born in the US, and he said, look, I want to represent my fatherland. I mean, can we know who he is also?
Udodi Onwuzurike, I mean, what a special talent. Still only 18 years old, born in Detroit, Michigan. And, you know, he wanted to represent Nigeria. And thankfully, you know, his father's been very supportive. His father traveled with him to Kenya, his first event ever for Nigeria. And it's interesting that he came into this championship with a PB of just 20.78 seconds. So yes, he could have been a contender based on that, but he has really blown that out of the water. I mean, running 20.11 in the semifinals, though it was wind aided, you know, would have been a championship record had it not been wind aided. And then you look at the final, his time in the final, 20.21, actually qualifies him for the World Senior Championships next year in Eugene. And one of our reporters in Kenya actually had to tell him, oh, by the way, you have qualified already for the World Seniors.
Wow.
And that's the same position Favour Fili is in. Favour Fili with her time, national junior record in the 200 meters, 22.23, also qualifies her for the World Championships next year. And it's important to note that with that time, it's really obvious that Ofili would have been in the final of the Olympics.
Of the Olympics, yeah.
It's a small consolation for her. Let me call it a golden bronze, you know, since she was up against the two Namibians who were also Olympic finalists. So, you know, she can really be proud of what she achieved in Kenya.
Favour Ofili, we all look forward to her. You know, we followed her. You know, we through your lenses. We followed. You know, how she was building up to Tokyo, and like you said, she couldn't, not because she wasn't, not because she didn't try, but because of circumstances beyond her and her colleagues' control. But right now, like you said, she, you know, the time she ran to pick that bronze also qualified her, you know, for the World Championship senior now. You know, running for the juniors. So that is great. Let us now transit, you know, to diamond, from gold to diamond. I don't know, when I see 18 more run, Bambo, does she remind you of Usain Bolt? I don't know. You know, is it because of her stride or whatever? I mean.
Yeah, I think Mo, she's a special athlete. Obviously winning the 800 meters at the Diamond League yesterday in a new meet record. She can do anything from the 400 to the 800 to the 1500. I mean, even at the college level, she even moved down to the 200 and she was winning races there as well. So yes, she is those one of that once in a generation athlete, a bit like Usain Bolt. And there's already a lot of speculation in the US. Is she going to move down to maybe the 400 and see whether she can actually match the likes of Shone Miller Yubo there? That would be really interesting.
Okay, the records were just falling. I know. I was discussing with you yesterday. You know where these things were going on. Jamaica they replicated that 1, 2, 3 that they did over there in 100 meters. But you know, what is happening? What is that track? Was that track a fast track or whatever? But because I don't know. No Lyles, you know, every one of them were doing fantastic times. This is the second fastest time in history that she has just done after she what she did in the Olympics.
You know what I loved about the Olympics actually is that it proved that some tracks that are considered fast are just not really that fast. They're just not. You know, even you see. There were some events in the Olympics that they had better performances in Tokyo. Look at that unimaginable world record in the 400-meter hurdles for men.
Yes.
Also for women. They weren't able to do those times in Eugene. And, you know, similar to our own track back home in Nigeria, the Yaba Tech Sports Complex, some people question, oh, did they really run, did Ferdinand Omanela really run 10:01 in Yaba? Did Enoch Adegoke really run 10:00? And, you know, my joy is that at the Olympics, they bettered those times. And Omanala is even a 9.86 runner now. So, yes, Eugene has always been considered a fast track. And it's great to see some fast times here. You know, Andy deGrasse running 9.73. I bet he wishes he did that at the Olympics.
Wow.
Same thing with Noah Lyles running the 19.5 in the 200. I'm sure he wished he did that at the Olympics.
Olympics, yeah.
Are peaking at different times. But, you know, you started this conversation by mentioning the Jamaica's 1, 2, 3 in the women's 100. I mean, how special was that? Really confirming that they're the top 3 in the world from the Olympics. And obviously, also showing that Sha'Carri Richardson still has a lot of work to do to be in the same conversation as them. Obviously, she missed the Olympics, but she was only able to finish 8th here in Eugene, sandwiched between the two greats, Elaine Thompson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. So it was a huge lesson, I think, in maturity for her. She has to go back and show that she can live with those girls. But I mean, spare a word for Elaine Thompson, 10.54. She's going after that world record, the 10.49.
10.49 for Jonah. Okay, you just mentioned Sha'Carri. Did that 1 month that she was not active, did it in any way affect her performance? And also, I never knew Lyles has a brother, because the younger brother came third in that race.
Yeah, certainly. You know, basically, Josephus Lyles has always been a very promising athlete, and he ran a PB there, I think 20.0. It shows that he's coming up. I mean, obviously, had it not been that he's in the U.S. or part of the U.S. team, he would have already competed at some major championships and Olympics, except that the standard is so high, competition for places is so high. But yeah, I mean, he has a brother that's doing well and coming up behind him. But Noah Lyles 19.5. He wishes he did that at the Olympics. I mean, it just gives him that confidence that he can go back and return to being the world champion again next year, and maybe capture the Olympic crown from Andy deGrasse in 2024.
Okay, we won't round up this gist without asking you, going to the Diamond League this season, how many of Nigerian athletes are you seeing that will participate and probably take some diamond nuggets home?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to say, because we had a not so I would say Olympics. Those who are normally in the Diamond League, the likes of Blessing Okagbare is provisionally suspended at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen with her. So, we might only see 1 or 2 athletes, maybe Divine Oduduru, Toby Amuson, Ese Brume in the Diamond League. So let's see what they come up with now that the Olympics is over.
Okay, it's always a pleasure. And then as we walk towards a greater athletics season, and yes, for Nigeria, Bambo, we always call and count on you.
Thank you, and let's cheer on the team in Kenya today. I think the likes of Unsay Mabon can leave the World Juniors with 3 gold medals if they win the 4x4 today, and that would be very unprecedented for Nigeria. So a lot more to celebrate coming today.
A lot more to celebrate. Thanks, Bambo. A lot more to celebrate. So that is how we leave this conversation. He says a lot more to celebrate, and who will not? If she goes on there and gets 3 gold medals, you see how she started from the Akwa Ibom Youth Sport Festival, and that is why we say catch them young. When we say Channels Kids Cup, that is why we catch them young. When we say look Channels Athletics Classic, that is why we catch them young. Go to the schools, go back, watch the ant, go and do what they are doing. They start from the cradle. And then you don't just build the castle in the air. The foundation must be laid down there, and that is what you put on. That foundation has to be solid in order to withhold the strength of the superstructure that you want to put on top of it. So we are happy that we're doing it here. We are happy that the reward system, the sport ministry says, from now on, every one of them that wins a gold medal will go home from even at this youth championship with $5,000. $5,000, that is great. Silver takes home $3,000, while a bronze medalist take home $2,000. We don't know what if the other participants. We also hope that that they will up the allowances because I think our Olympians, maybe we say that it has only been $100. That's how it has been on daily basis. Let us see if that one can also be upped up. It is something So from that, let us move on. Let us a lot of stories are there, but let us see if we can just go straight to football. The transfer season is on, but before we look at the transfer season, because we go to Kaduna and meet somebody very special. Who will guide us through what is happening. Today in England, it will be in London. It will be another derby between Arsenal and Chelsea. Before we go to Kaduna, can we see if we can take, let us see if we can get those results, the results of the match that were played yesterday and today's fixtures and how that is going to lead us. Yesterday, yes, it was Liverpool 2-0 Burnley. 48 matches that Van Dijk has played for Liverpool. He has never lost at home. 48 league matches. He has never lost at home. Manchester City came back from that opening day loss to having a 5-star performance, 5-0 against Norwich City. And it tells you that when they are in their first, second gear, it is difficult to stop them. Leeds United, they lost against Manchester United, but then they picked a valuable point against Everton. It is 2-2. Aston Villa, even if they sold Grealish, they are still there because Mings set up Ings, to score that goal. It is a question of Ming and Ing. And then at the end of the day, it was 2-0 against Newcastle. Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira says, I can't get my first point. He gets that on against Brentford. And Brighton continued their winning ways with a 2-0 win over Watford, which means they are there topping the league. But today, this is what we are going to see. Southampton will take on Manchester United. Wolves will take on Tottenham Hotspur. And then, yes, that is the match we're talking about for you fans of Arsenal and Chelsea. We'll come to you. It will be Arsenal versus Chelsea. Who do you think will take the day for today's matches? So, without much ado, let us go straight to meet the king of the north, Mohammed Moiz Suleiman. Hello, Moiz. How are you?
Moiz, nice to be on your show.
Yeah, it's good to be on my show. But then we just want to introduce your face. Yeah, you are shining because we are going to take a break. When we come back, that is when the conversation will begin. We're taking a very short break. When we come back, we'll go straight to Kaduna and we'll meet the king of the north. All right, you're welcome back. It was happening in Eugene, United States of America. Earlier this morning, 2 a.m. we're still there watching those highlights, and it was sometimes either you ask for sleep and sleep said no. This is more exciting. Isn't it sweeter than sleep? Sports, it is to me. It is sweeter. So let's see. I told you that before we went on this short break that we're already in Kaduna. So let's go back there and talk with Moiz. Moiz, how are you?
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, It's quite refreshing having you on the show for your debut on Channel Sport on Sunday. Where do we start from? Do we start from Simi or do we start from Kanu? I'm hearing, I don't know, all I have to get from this confirmation it's the big masquerade leaving Kano Pillars. What is happening in Kano Pillars? Can we, where do you want to start from? You take us or you take us on.
Anyway, I think that was a misconception. There was a mistake in the news and report linking Rabiu Ali with a move to Kano Pillars. There is no truth from Kano Pillars to Rivers United. There's no truth in it. I have spoken with the hierarchy and the management of Kano Pillars. They say there's no truth in it. Rabiu Ali is staying at Kano Pillars. Rabiu Ali is not leaving Kano Pillars. 2 players have left Kano Pillars for Rivers United: Yima Nwagwa and Awolu Ali Malam. That of Awolu Ali Malam came as a surprise to several people because Awolu Ali Malam is seen as the heir to Rabiu Ali's throne. So it was a surprise that the man who had some alterations, and of course, towards the end of the season, he wasn't getting games for Kano Pillars because he was guilty of dissent when he was substituted in one match, and the substitute ended up scoring that very goal. So he was not being played in their home games. He was only getting game time away from home. So there was a friction between himself and the management of Kano Pillars. So it didn't come to me. It didn't come as a surprise to me much when he left Kano Pillars to join Rivers United on loan. And then you look at from Rivers United, from the same Kano Pillars as well, they also picked Yima Nwagwa. He has been at Kano Pillars for the past 5 seasons since joining them from Lobby Stars. He's been one of their talisman, he's been one of their backbone, but he's now leaving to join Rivers United as well. So those are the 2 departures from Kano Pillars to Rivers United. About the story about Rabiu Ali, there is no substance to it, there's no truth in it. The Pillars management have denied it. They said Rabiu Ali is staying and Rabiu Ali will remain with them. He's a legend, he's an icon, he's an idol, he's all Kano Pillars stands for at the moment, and he's not leaving. He's 42, by the way.
He is 42? And he's still going to play the next season. That's still going to. Maurice, okay. You've talked about going 2 players leaving Kano Pillars. How many players are coming in? Any confirmation for now?
No, none for now. In the Nigerian transfer window, only 3 teams have been very, very busy so far. Only 3 teams have been very, very busy. I mean, very, very vocal in the transfer window. You have Eimba, Akwa United, and Rivers United. These 3 teams are buying almost anything in sight. I mean, they are signing almost everybody in sight, signing goalkeepers, signing defenders, signing midfielders. They've already concluded their registration for the CAF Champions League. So they needed to beat the deadline. So they went on a signing spree. So aside these 3 teams who are busy poaching from other teams, the rest of the Nigerian teams appear to be waiting for the season to truly get underway before they'll start getting their targets. But these 3 who are going to be starting in earnest because the CAF Confederation Games will start very soon. The CAF Champions League elimination series will start very soon. So these 3 teams have been more busy, far busier than the other teams. For instance, Eimba have brought in as many as 9 players. Rivers United have brought in as many as 7 players. Akwa United, the last time I checked, they brought in as many as 7 players as well. So you have 7 for Akwa United, 8 for Eimba, I beg your pardon, and then 9 already for Rivers United. So it's all about these 3 teams at the top right now. These 3 teams at the top, the 3 teams that are represented on the African continent, are the ones that have been doing very, very well. We don't hear anything about Bayelsa United because they are campaigning in the Nigerian National League.
Okay.
They're happening in the NNL. So there's no much happening around them when it comes to transfer because the league has not even ended to start with. So, but these 3 teams have been the most busy teams. These are the teams that you can say, okay, these teams are busy in transfer window in Nigeria. Every other team is still waiting for something or maybe waiting for leftovers from these very teams for them to poach from this very team. That's how it works in Nigeria. You allow the continental teams to pick the players they want to pick, and then the ones that they are not interested in, you poach those ones and then form a team with those ones. It's just the system. That's how it works here.
Leftover Moise. Moise. You mean the continental teams have their first pick, while whatever remains now goes to the other guys? Let me ask, is Ajiboye moving? Are you do you have any confirmation? Yes.
The last time I read about Dele Ajiboye, he was linked with a move to Akwa United, I think. Yeah. He was linked with a move to Akwa United, but Akwa were quick to debunk that rumor. Okay. That they're not interested in Dele Ajiboye. He was linked with a move with Akwa United. He's still at Plateau United, but his contract has expired.
Okay.
And these teams that are campaigning on the African continent have already gone ahead to start signing goalkeepers. I know Rivers United have signed Vincent Edafe from Abia Warriors. I know Eimba have signed Olorunleke Ojo from the same Abia Warriors. I mean, they actually raiding Abia Warriors. These two guys are after anybody even wanted to raid Abia Warriors coach, but Abia Warriors took their ground and said, Mama, you have 1 year to go with us. You're staying with us. You're not going anywhere. So it's been all about these three teams that have been the teams that have been making all of the noises in the Nigerian transfer window, the noises you've been hearing. It's about these three teams. So about Dele Ajeboye, if he's not linked to any of these three teams, with all due respect, like I said earlier on, probably he belongs to the group of the leftovers. No pun intended, I'm just joking.
Okay, your choice. These movements, who do you think will create much more impact? You follow these players for a while now before we go foreign. Any of them you are saying? Among these players that has moved, I mean, where do you think, okay, they are just signing them because we need players, or there is a space, or there is a deficiency somewhere? They notice that, okay, probably our midfield, so let us strengthen. Are they signing them purposefully, or they don't sign any good player inside and then have a potpourri at the end?
I think with the Nigerian Premier League scenario, first of all,
okay, we'll go back. I think Mowiz is still there. All right, we'll still try and link up with Mowiz. I know he's still there, so that we get, he's giving us the transfers in the NPFL. He's going to also give us the transfer of Nigerians outside. We'll be having him. Is somewhat exciting for us to have with. While we wait to reconnect with Mowiz in Kaduna, we are still. We'll try and see if we can also open the lines and get you. But there is good news coming from Bayelsa State that Governor Diri has, rewarded, the state athletes, those that went to the Olympics, and also the unprecedented winning of the ITO Cup by both the Bayelsa United and Bayelsa Queen. And I tell you, it is dollar. It's a naira rain. 4 million naira for blessing. 4 million for picking that silver at the Olympics. The governor said, you have put our name and you have in national, in world map. So people will now say, where is Bayelsa? And for that, we are rewarding you with 4 million naira. It didn't stop there. All the Bayelsa United players and Bayelsa Queens, the kings and the queens, every one of them, the 25 top players, we have 1 million naira each in their account for winning the ITO Cup. Yeah, so 1 million, and the next ones within there will collect 500,000. But the top 25 registered will collect 1 million naira. That is it. The technical advisors will collect 1.3 million naira each. 1.3 million for the technical advisors. The club chairman, 1.5 million. And then, but that is not what gladdens my heart most. From what I'm reading, they said they are going to upgrade the Samson Siasia Sport Complex and also the wrestling gym. So the infrastructural aspect is what, of course, the players need this. You don't take that away from them. If you work hard, you need to eat well. You need to get motivated. This is their job. This is what they do. This is the best they can get. And this is their prime. It is not a question of education later, but at their prime, they have to get their reward. So these monies are okay, which is not just okay, they are fantastic. They're fantastic. Giving them 1 million naira each, 1.3 million, 1.5 million. And then 2 brand new buses, brand new coastal buses for both Bayelsa United and Bayelsa Queen. In my village, say, if a mama, where cookie there, where something is good, pronounce it and dance over it. So that is the reward system for Bayelsa United. And I hope this one will go on there, to kind of encourage and motivate others to say, we can do it. If you do well, we shall excel. So that is what they are getting it. A lot of reward system coming. I told you earlier on that the sport ministry has also said the youth teams will go home with $5,000 for gold, $3,000 for silver, and $2,000 for bronze. So these things are all on there, and then that is what we are saying. When we are ready, we'll connect back to Kaduna because I know we have Mowiz with us today to look at that. But then at the Cincinnati, of course. Okay, we are back. Let us see if we can connect back with Moise, if it's right there, so that we wrap up the MPFL transfers and see. Yes, hello, Moise. It's like you are back.
Yes, I'm back. Sorry for that brief interruption. Sorry for that brief interruption. You really can't trust this network at times. That was it was actually a network glitch.
All right. Okay. Thank God we have you back. Like I asked you earlier. I think my last question, if I can remember, was that which among these players who are transferring do you think will create more impact in where they are going to? Where they signed purposefully, or it's like you said, let us just get the best players available, and then we can go over there and have a potpourri.
First of all, when you are faced with a deadline, or you have to submit players before a particular day, what you want to do is to first of all gather the ones that you think have excelled against you. And I think most of these teams went into that transfer window with that mindset. But I'll pick some particular players who were very impressive last season. There is a Kene Awazie from FC Fanyuba. He was awesome. He has been signed by Enyimba as a replacement for the departing Anayo Iwala. There is also Chigozie Obasi, the right fullback who had more goals and more assists than any other right fullback in the MPFL. He also joined Enyimba. Then for Rivers United, Awolu Ali Malam is quality. I'll say this anywhere, anytime. Awolu Ali Malam is quality. I've watched him severally. He's a quality player. You add, he will improve any team that he is going to. Then I looked at at Aqua United as well. Aqua United have brought back Ezekiel Basti. He was once upon a time with Barcelona B, once upon a time with the Chan Eagles, once upon a time with Enyimba. He has returned from a sojourn in Egypt where he played for Petrojet and is now teamed up with Aqua United. They brought back Denis Inya. He was with them, but then he later left them on a loan deal. He left them on a loan deal to Plateau United. He has returned back to the same team. They've brought in Anefio God's Power. He called himself Toa. He's back from Enugu Rangers and all that. You see, these are the few that come to my head. These are the few names that come to my head, and then when I looked at these players, I think these are like perfect addition. But one of the biggest problems of Nigerian teams on the African continent has always been goal scoring. Nigerian teams generally don't score goals, but looking at the transfer window so far, because we had a low goal scoring season, Enyimba's ploy to serve their attacking deficiency was to sign Stone Olukwebe, who was at Jigawa Golden Stars last season. Now I will shock you with something. Towards the time of last season, Enyimba only scored 3 or more goals in one match, and that was the final game of the MPFL season. Other than that, Enyimba could only score 2 goals, and it was their biggest nemesis when they played in the CAF Champions League. So most teams have not addressed their attacking issues. Rivers United brought in Yima Nwagwa, but for the time I've known Yima Nwagwa, he hasn't scored more than 7 goals in the MPFL. So I'm beginning to wonder, you have goal scoring problem and you're bringing in Yima Nwagwa to come and solve it for you. I don't think that's actually a good catch for me. But then for Aqua United, Charles Ashimene, who scored 18 goals last season for them, is linked with a move away from Aqua United to a team in Portugal after his move to Esperance broke down. But if they are keeping Charles Ashimene, with Akarandot Orok still on their book, with former MPFL goalkeeper Nfong Udo still on their books, I think they will have a squad that can score goals. So goal scoring, I'm particular about the attackers they signed. And these 3 teams that I've just mentioned have signed some very good strikers. And for Bayelsa United, I saw a guy called Emo James in the Federation Cup final. If they are able to hang on to Emo James, I think Bayelsa United too will do a lot when it comes to scoring goals. Goal scoring has been our team's biggest problem. The league is actually a low-scoring league generally. So getting goal scorers is actually a very, very tall ask. This team going on the African continent, they've recruited strongly, but they should have focused more on recruiting goal scorers, proving goal scorers. Sadly, they are very, very far and few.
Okay, you talked about movement to Esperance and back. Let us look at, you talk about Iwala, who has also moved, up north of Africa. I started by asking whether we should start from Simi or MPF, or started from home. Simi moving from Croton to another, just, how do I say it? A team that has not come up. What is your take on that?
You see, for Simi Nwankwo, it's a question of resale value. Simi Nwankwo is 29 already. All of the exploits Simi Nwankwo did was as a 28-year-old, and then he turned 29. He He was 27 when he made that, and teams are very, very skeptical when it comes to signing a 29-year-old. Permit me to add, a 29-year-old with an African passport. I'm sorry. Yeah. A 29-year-old with an African passport. I'm sorry to use that word. Sometimes these teams are skeptical because they believe one or two things might have happened, age discrepancies and all of that. For Simi Nwankwo, if Simi Nwankwo was 22, 23, or maybe 2021 when he had the season he had with Cotonou, scoring 20 Serie A goals for a relegated team, that is no mean feat. But these teams are not so sure of Simi Nwankwo's resale value in case he fails to cut it with them at a particular level. They are not too sure of his resale value because if he fails to cut it with them, it means they are stuck with an expensive floor. So these teams were not that. I mean, the offers that came in from Simi Nwankwo are offers for loan. Even the Salernitana he went to is a 1-year loan.
Okay.
It's a function of his age. It's a function of his age. I mean, when you are at that age, when you are above 28, teams become skeptical. Then when you are holding an African passport, it becomes almost impossible. Salernitana took a big gamble on Simi Nwankwo. And of course, Mr. Ken, let's not forget, we are dealing with a coronavirus-infested transfer window. Teams have spent big. City have spent big on Jack Grealish, but consider that they actually sold Leroy Sané for £60 million and they didn't buy a replacement. So they only thought what they had from Leroy Sané signing to use to sign Jack Grealish. Chelsea bought a striker for £98 million, but when you look at the departures from Chelsea, it's huge. No team in the La Liga have signed a player for €20 million so far. I mean, Juventus could not sign Manuel Locatelli. They had to go on the option of a 2-year loan with obligation to buy. So we are dealing with a coronavirus-infested transfer window where there is least money going around. So teams are not open to taking risks. It's why Paul Onuachu is still at Genk after 35 goals last season. So it's just the function of the market. There is money where money is. But again, for you to get to that level where money is, you have to be at a particular age where they will know that they can get a resale value in case things don't work for you. Sadly, both teams work against Simi Nwankwo, plus the fact that even though he holds an Italian passport, his registration is as a Nigerian. They know these things.
Okay, from the Super Eagles angle, movement for our players, how has it been?
I would say it has been a busy window. I mean, we took over Watford for a while. Having 3 players at Watford is no mean feat. Having 2 of them starting a Premier League game in Dennis Emmanuel Bonaventure, very talented but highly erratic. I mean, then you have Ogene Karo Etebo and William Trustekong. Forgive him for the error yesterday. We used to have Isaac Success, but he's on his way to UDNEC. He has not delivered on his potential. I mean, I saw Isaac Success the first time in 2013 in the Nigerian Under-17 camp, and I could swear he will become the next African Footballer of the Year. Somehow he missed his way. But here's hoping that his move to UDNEC will open the door for a brand new chapter in his career. I looked at that move again, and then I looked at the other move that have happened so far. Nothing mega, but highly needed move, like Ahmed Musa moving to Fatih Karagumruk. A backward movement for Heron Onyekuru, leaving a high-profile league like Ligue 1, a traditional team like Monaco to join Olympiacos. But make no mistake about it, Olympiacos are going to be playing in the UEFA Champions League. So he has a chance to play at the top level with some of the top stars in the world. So that's actually a plus for him as well. Then the other one again I want to take a look at is Ola. Although he is returning back to Torino in Italy. His former club, he went on loan to Fulham, returning back to Torino. A big move, if you ask me, because I watched him play yesterday for Torino, and he was very, very good. He was very, very good. I mean, he probably would have solved our left fullback position for a while. Tyrone Eboue moving to Venezia. What Tyrone Eboue needs is 1 year of uninterrupted football, where because after the injuries and numerous fitness issues, he needs to get these games under his belt so that he can be able to move on. But I'm particularly feeling sorry for some Nigerian players because this lack of movement might affect their Super Eagles chances. For instance, Kenneth Omeru, he needs to leave Leganes. He should be playing in a level higher than the Segunda, which is the Spanish second division. Sadiq Umar, after what he achieved last season for Almeria, he should be somewhere playing in a league higher than the second division of Spanish football. But like I said, there is no much money in Spanish football at the moment. Moses Simon, he did wonderfully well. He has done wonderfully well for Nantes for 2 seasons, but they're demanding a kill for him to transfer. So some of these Nigerian players had fantastic seasons, but that season cannot culminate into cash right now. It's all about consolidating. And I'll tell you this, in a World Cup year, or in a year preceding a World Cup, most players don't want to move because they want to make their mark at the global stage and then from then on take it from there. For the Nigerian players, most of them are not too open to a move now. Probably wait till after the African Cup of Nations, and if you are able to move, good and fine. And let's talk about one. I mean, this other man is a French by good star, but he has played 3 times now for Nigeria. Valentin Ozonwonfo. He left Turkey 2 days back to join Charleroi of Belgium. And then Eugenio Onazi to relaunch his career, leaving Zalgiris of Lithuania to beat a return back to Turkey where he had teamed up with Dennis Lispor. Now, the funny thing about Onazi and Dennis Lispor is that Onazi left Dennis Lispor 18 months ago, terminated his contract. Now he's back again on a 1-year deal. Eugenio Onazi, in the past 4 years, he has left his club by a contract. He has left 4 clubs terminating his contract. He terminated his contract at Trabzonspor, terminated his contract at Dennis Lispor, terminated his contract at Sondresky, a Danish side, terminated his contract at Zalgiris as well. He is hoping that now he's back at Denizlispor, he will not terminate his contract again. That's just my humble prayers for him.
I think that is where we have to terminate it for today. Movies will come back. We'll do this again after the 31st. You know, where we'll have sum up all the movements and then we'll get the highlights. It's been a pleasure having you.
My pleasure as well. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. That is Maurice. You know, he has a sports right with Liberty Radio right there in Kaduna. So he is the king of the North. He keeps his listeners captive right there. And that is what you have just seen a pinch, which I've tried and bring him back when the transfer season is over. And he will be part of a regular feature with us right on this show. We're opening the lines now. You guys can join the show. The lines will be open, so you will be part of this. Let us hear what you're taking. You've heard the movements of the players. You've seen what the exploits of our athletes right there right there in Kenya. What they are doing. We're talking about the reward system. Also, we know it is good. How do we institutionalize it? How do those monies come in so that it can prop them up when they are preparing, not after they have excelled? We're not condemning this. It is commendable. But we are saying, oh, can there be a system? We showed you how England, you know, the team Great Britain, you know, like we have said, for now, you have Ofili, you have Nsemabong, you have Odode. Okay, Owo is right there, calling from Abeokuta. Hello, Owo, how are you?
Ken, you tried today. I really appreciate you today for inviting the guy. I know the guy properly. But
okay.
Number one, I want you to please, I use this opportunity to beg you to call Bashir. That is a media officer of Kwara United. And I know you have the number. I trust you, Ken. The player that is gone, as today now, Kwara United has 7 players. You can confirm from Bashir.
Okay.
That is it. I want you to confirm from Bashir.
No
because
problem.
You are a bias. The last time you called the Sunshine media, and the day that Sunshine will meet Kwara United, you're supposed to call Bashir too, Kwara United versus Sunshine. So you call the 2 media. So now you must call the Bashir now. That's another thing. Today, and I so appreciate the player that is gone in the Super Eagles. That's it. So okay, God will bless you. And when what do you say, book, I've never collected it.
I told you, don't worry. I have your, like I said, I collected your number, so I will get it. I will get it straight to you.
I trust you. I trust you as a man.
We'll talk after
Man supporter. I trust you.
Don't worry. Arsenal will have the day today.
Chelsea will win today. Don't go far. Don't go far. Champions of Europe. How can you tell me? Why are you saying this?
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you. God will bless you. You will live long.
Amen. Oh my God. One thing is they know they can get me. Maybe I got you today. It will be Arsenal taking on Chelsea. Yesterday also, it was Barcelona post Messi. Of course, they won their first match, and Braithwaite doing all this. I heard that maybe Coutinho has the number 10. I don't know. I don't know. I thought they were going to they were going to hang it. So kind of okay, fine. Well, but that is the result from La Liga. Atletico but they've already been tough to buy Barcelona. Barcelona came back through that goal by Memphis Depay. Granada grinded out a 1-1 draw with Valencia. Espanyol did played a barren draw with Villarreal, and then Alaves, lost at home to Mallorca. Today you are going to have Real Sociedad taking up. Is that Real Sociedad versus Real Sociedad? Can we correct that? Rayo Vallecano. Okay, God, let's get that done, get that repeated. I think it should be versus Rayo Vallecano. The lines are still open, and we are still looking at what is happening over the week. Let's take a little bit trip to tennis. The U.S. Open will be starting right there on the 30th of this month and right into August. But then before then, before the end of the Cincinnati Masters that did take place, probably when we come back, we shall look at what is happening, because it will be Rublev taking on Zverev, while Ashley Barty will take on, she just decayed in the block. Not just a kid, but she just came back, Jill Techman. You stay with us. It is China Sport on Sunday. You go nowhere. Well, you're welcome back. Let me tell you a little story about that match. Yesterday, like I said, we watch. You were moving. You have your remote in your hand, because basically you're the only one awake. And I'm moving from Orego, checking what's happening in Diamond League, and then also what is happening right there in Cincinnati. The first set went straight to Zverev 6-4. And he was leading 2-0 in the second set. I haven't broken Tsitsipas in the first set, so I thought probably it is all over, So I switched over to go and watch the Diamond League. And before I came back, Tsitsipas won the second set 6-3 and was leading 4-2. So I was okay, well, this is a great the second seeded and the third seeded. And I thought it was all over. But before I knew it, it was 4-3, it was 5-5, it was 6-6. And where do you tune off when you are going through that? I mean, that was a classic. I enjoyed every minute of it. It is the battle of what to come. We have said after Roger Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and the Murray, of course, the top four plus add Wawrinka to make it about 5 of them who ruled in the past decade, that who will take up from them. But looking at Rublev beating Medvedev. I mean, it has always been the other way around. Both of them are Russians. And Tsitsipas versus Zverev is all there. They're taking off from the Raonic of this one. We thought Raonic and Dimitrov are those who were going to take over. But that generation did not come to pass. So it is a kind of bridging it there. And with this, we're going to see these guys play in Grand Slam finals. Add Dominic Thiem to that mix. Add the Denis Shapovalov to that mix. Add Ogier Aliassime, and I tell you, tennis is the wonder for it. So take nothing about that. These guys are going to thrill us in the next decade. They are 23, 24. So they have about 10 good years of tennis in them. If you take the ages of those they are trailing, and then other new ones will be coming in. Although in the female team, there was Ashley Barty, the #1. That's intriguing in the female final, because Ashley Barty, the world #1 of the Australian, the lady with the two big one, 2 Grand Slam, will be taking on Jill Techman. And I tell you something about Jill Techman. When she, I think during her first match, she got that message from a video message from Roger Federer saying, "Go, girl, go." Because unfortunately, in the U.S. Open this year, there will be no Roger Federer. He has pulled out. There will be no Rafael Nadal. He has pulled out. So probably it is the time for one man to ascend to say it is not going to be 2020. It is going to be 2020-21. Will the Joker come to the party? That should be the question. The lines are still open. You join us while we talk sports right down here. So, Manny Pacquiao, 42 years old. Okay, that has been corrected. Okay, let's have it. This has been corrected. Rest of that taking on Rayo Vallecano. Atletico Madrid, we're taking on. Okay, those are. Of course, we're taking these results already. We just want to take the fixtures for today and then move on. So that why you brought us back to football. So let us just do that while the lines are still open. So those are the score, the result for yesterday matches, and these are the fixtures for today. Levante taking on Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid are the defending champions taking on Elche, and Real Sociedad will taking on Rayo Vallecano. And also in Italy, like we said, life without Lukaku, Inter went on to destroy Genoa by 4 good goals. You know, okay, but, these are the Serie A fixtures. Roma taking on Fiorentina. Roma, of course, it will be the one and only. How does it call? How do they introduce the special one? Jose Mourinho, who is back there in Italy after his first stint with Inter, taking on Roma against Fiorentina. Udinese will taking on Juve, the old lady who are still hanging on to Cristiano Ronaldo, the old lady, and then the aging player. Napoli with our Onosime taking on Venezia, and then Bologna will taking on that. We're just talking about Salernitana, where we have Simi Wanko just went to. Those are the results for yesterday. Inter 4-0 without Lukaku, but then Edin Dzeko came down and said, I can't do it. If you don't have Lukaku, you can have me. In my debut, I will do it, and it was 4-0. Verona lost at home to Sassuolo, and Empoli lost. That was the result. So, okay, Empoli lost to Lazio at home, and in Torino also lost to Atalanta. So the big goals, you can always count on Atalanta to score goals. 2 seasons ago, they scored over 100 goals in the Serie A. So they are a goal machine. So when you see them, know that there will be a goal rain, whether they're playing at home or not. They just go out and play free-flowing football, and that is how it is. Okay, before they took us back to football, talking about Manny Pacquiao, the man is 42. The man has started from the 90s. For how many decades? The 90s, the 200s, 2010s, we're in 2020. 4 decades he's been fighting, and he is still doing it. He lost, of course. This is this is his 72nd fight. You know that he has fought. He fought Eudenis Ugas of Cuba, and then I tell you, he lost on unanimous decision. 115, 113, 116, 112, 116, 112. Those were the score, and all went for Ugas. So we don't know what's going to happen. You know, he's a senator. He's a politician. A senator in his country. He's a politician and a boxer, and said, of course, and he has a lot of the human side of him, where he helps the needy, where he goes over there to say, this is how I want to help my society. Is he going to retire? His record is now 62-82, 62 wins, 8 defeats and 2 draws. What will become of him? I know there will still be that payday. There will be that payday with Money Mayweather. They are still going to do that fight. I don't know how it is going to happen, but mark my word for it. Both of them will enter that ring and we get it done. The lines are still open. Who takes it today in London? Will it be Chelsea or will it be Arsenal? Yesterday, Jack really scored his first goal. 1 down, 99 to go. You know that is $1 million for every goal. £1 million, £100 million guy. He has just scored 1, and we hope that he's going to score more. But then, who is he going to score against? So those are the things that we are looking at. And then, all right, we have Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, Janet.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Barcelona game.
All right. Go on.
I want to talk about the Barcelona game of yesterday.
Yeah, go on.
Well, I think that one of the biggest mistakes that Barcelona made was telling Lionel Messi. Because from the game of yesterday, it was only Depay that was like giving the main threat, and the first half Griezmann was nowhere to be found. So I believe that Barcelona this season, they are going nowhere.
Okay, maybe they wanted to keep him. I think probably it is just the money thing. They couldn't. Probably because of the La Liga rules and whatever they need, and they renew the contract of players almost every year. So it becomes difficult. Yes. Long-term contracts, they were not able to keep them. Or keep Lionel Messi.
Yes.
All right.
Hello?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you, Janet. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, she's saying, of course, she watched that match. Braithwaite, when Lionel Messi was about leaving, he said, give me the jersey number 10. He scored 2 goals and made the other one the last time, and we thought we were going to give him that jersey number 10. When we went next, the next part of the show, we are going to show you the number 10 jersey for Barcelona. Are they going to hang that jersey, or they've given it to somebody else? Continue going on loan now, coming back. Not what it was, a big money move from Liverpool right there. He didn't deliver. Went to Bayern and then humiliated. Yes, in that Bayern that humiliated Barcelona. When it came back there and he couldn't still make it, but then they doesn't have to hang on to it because his salary, I don't know how many clubs can afford that. Like Maurice just said, this is a COVID year. Everybody's checking their books. A lot of them are making mistakes. In fact, Barcelona has the last evaluation was about minus 300 and something in debt. So I had to Fabian. Hello, Fabian. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I so happy to link up with you. I want to talk about my homeboy, Maurice.
Maurice?
Yeah, Maurice. Very interesting to hear him. Maurice, Alan Smith, and Didi Abdul.
Yeah.
It's a combination of music and sports for us here in Kaduna. Very interesting fellow.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've not called him in person, but I'm seeing him for the first time today.
Wow.
So interesting fellow. Then I want to quickly talk about Barcelona. A lady just spoke now.
Yeah.
And it's a disaster for them. Of course, they have rallied around Messi for long, and it's unfortunate that this has happened to them. But I think in the long run, it's a good deal for them.
Okay.
So that they can get their acts together. They can begin to rethink outside Messi. Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fabian. It's difficult to think outside Messi. Certain players just come. It's not people. You see, as somebody said, coaching is overrated. What will a coach teach Messi? Sometimes he comes like that, and he is born to play. What will a coach teach Pelé at 17 winning the World Cup? He was born to score and to play. So that is the thing. The Messi era coincided with the geniuses that they were playing with him. He has with Iniesta, with Xavi, with a kind of chemistry of all of them that came from the La Masia. But he was the pick of the pack. And then I tell you this, he is the best the world has seen to a lot of persons. So how do you, what era? You see, when the history of Barcelona will be written, it will be, Barcelona, before Messi, BM, then Messi era and Barcelona, BA, after Messi, AM, you understand? It's a BM and AM. So that is how it's going to be. It will be difficult. We have the Ronaldinhos of this world coming in. We have a lot of the Rivaldo. All right, let's go to Enugu because I have Onwa there. Hello, Onu. Onwa.
Yeah, I'm still on. I'm on.
Right. So let's hear you.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah, Mazi Onwa from Enugu.
Wow, Mazi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying your program.
Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah, I'm fine. Please, there's this in Ligue 1, the French top division.
Yes.
Yesterday, PSG did not play, and today they are not online. What's the problem?
No, PSG played. PSG won. I think they played on Friday. They played on Friday. That was why. They played on Friday. They won 4-2.
Okay.
They won 4-2, yes.
Why is this my talisman? It has not been featured since he signed the contract with them.
He will. He's trying to keep fit. And he would have played that match. I think something, but most definitely he's going to play the next match from Filas that we are having.
Yeah, in fact, I really think about his absence.
No, wala.
Yeah. Okay, my brother.
All right, Odua. Thank you, Mazi. He says he wants to see Messi play. Everybody wants to see Messi play. Who doesn't want to see Messi play? Who wants to see the ET, the extraterrestrial play? Who wants to see the alien on Earth play? I mean, this is a poetry in motion, I tell you, when you have them. But someday probably we might end up having Messi and Ronaldo in the same team. Is it impossible? Or maybe they will come in and which club can they play for in Nigeria? Which club? Let's think about Sunshine Stars. I know Olave was being partial. Olave always accused me of partiality. He supports Kwara United. He supports Chelsea. And then he wants to hit at me. Oh, don't worry. We shall keep it there. The lines are still open. I will talk sports development here. All right, Obina. Obina is my guy. Hello, Obina. How are you?
I'm okay. What's up?
Sports development here. All right, Obina is my guy. Hello, Obina. How are you?
Go on. I don't want to miss this call. Obina, go on. Go on, Obina. What's happening? Give it to me. Oh, my God. Okay, you are there. Go on. I think you are still there. Go on. Oh, Obina. All right. People are trying to get through, and you got through. We just couldn't hear you. We just couldn't hear what you are saying. So that is it. You know, Messi will play. That is going to be definitely they're going to win. I don't know, it will be difficult because Lille didn't start well. They lost their first match. They were beaten 4-0 by Nice. They drew 1-1 yesterday. They drew 1-1. They drew 1-1 yesterday. So they are just starting. Then they're already on 6 points. They PSG on 6 points. We don't know whether they're going to win the league in December. Let's see. They've not featured Messi yet. But last we are hearing is that maybe Mbappe says, "I want to go to Real Madrid." The man don't want to be under Messi's shadow, but you can see how ironic it is. Okay, hello, let's go to Kogi because we have Henry on the line. Hello, Henry.
Yes, I want to talk on Arsenal versus Chelsea.
Yeah, who will win?
Give it to Arsenal. They always demolish Chelsea.
They always demolish Chelsea.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Henry. Henry says Arsenal. Yeah, but Lukaku will score. Okay. But do you think can your defense stop Lukaku?
Yeah, the pattern Arsenal plays.
Okay.
They can stop Lukaku from scoring.
They can stop him from scoring. All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, King Henry. Okay. That is King Henry from Kogi. I think that is where we have to call it a short for today. It's been Channel Sport on Sunday. And I tell you, until we come your way again next week, I'm Ken Ochonogo. Have a very blessed and lovely Sunday.